Bats, I don't know, you can do whatever you want with bats. He's not gonna use it anymore, it's a little too small for him.
Little bit, huh?
Yeah. It's funny,
28 from a long time ago.
it's found in the garage. Well, he's not gonna use it. The Met, or we can talk about it.
Little bit, huh?
Yeah.
It's 28 from a long time ago.
It wasn't. You gotta be pulling weird.
So that gave a few times. How they felt it.
It wasn't. You gotta be pulling weird.
I have a lot of like first time, even at the older levels too.
It wasn't. You gotta be pulling weird.
First time, even at the older.
It wasn't. You gotta be pulling. All right. Open the meetings. Almost not right. Woo. All right. I have a motion to start. The last one.
Yeah. Good question.
Except.
All right. All right. So Joe, we're gonna start right with you at the beginning. So do you wanna, so he's come back. He talked to me today. He's gonna share some updates of trees that they're looking to put at Gap Park. So Joe, we're gonna start right with, you can come up here if you want. He's come back. He talked to me today. He's shared some updates of trees.
I want to apologize. Tiffany and I have some communication, but I was she must be really busy. She's never come back, and I have the area.
Oh,
I
okay.
had the right number, but I have a 260 and she was a
317. Okay.
and so we missed a lot of. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I know our staff is incredibly there, so I try not to bother her, but we have made contact. There was a lot of confusion on Dogwood. There was one certifolia, and then called her back and didn't you her dog or the dogwood, and she said yes. And then Roberta said, well, that's not native. And I said, oh, okay. That's it. I just kind of don't want to get in the middle of it. And it's for her dad, so we want to do the best we can. And so it's a gray dogwood. It kind of has a sterile flow, all color, the red or whatever. So we're currently on the search of that. Wanted to use a local business, so they've given us a little discount, ARC and this. So, and before, I talked to Roberta, I had tagged this beautiful pusa. And, that's what I told her that. I said, oh, I got your dad's tree. And she said, okay, that's where it was.
So that was the question that was presented first. If it is for the dogwood and it's a memorial tree, is it okay if it is a dogwood but not native? So that was the question.
It's up to you guys.
Just presented first, if it is for the dogwood.
Well, for
Okay, go on.
Roberta, we're gonna do our best to find it. I don't have a truck, and, Columbia City and, who knows where. I don't think Lee's going to send the staff to go pick it up. We appreciate them planting it and putting water bags on it. I will do my best to assist them, and they've always been very helpful. Tiffany had mentioned Juniper Hill Nursery outside of Wilkinville, and I kept calling that number and getting no response. Finally, I said, I just want to make sure I have the right number, and I'm looking for some native trees, shrubs. So she did call me back and said, we've been retired for 2 years.
Okay.
Previous owner had a 30, we've had a 30 with my grandkids. So I went to the open house at James Stratton Porter on Saturday and ran into Katie Schaller, who has a nursery down on Oak Tree. And I purchased some things from her before she got this product. She doesn't carry a lot of natives either. She says she might have a source, not a nursery, but some guy that can maybe find them. But then you're probably increasing costs. You've got a middleman, and you know, if we have to have it delivered, that's probably a minimum of $50. So we're trying to be cost effective. So I will work with everyone on that, do my best. But I spent 3 days and 8 hours on this, and I was a little bit cranky to my wife. I was told such, but we did not get a divorce over that.
That's good.
So anyway, we're moving forward at least. I sent you a lot of emails, and I got tied up and didn't get the one from Derek. He's the arborist at Fort Wayne. And just sent that, basically to sum it up. He's saying that native trees are obviously first, they're a good choice, but native trees and non-native urban soils can be a problem. The city soils have been compacted, stripped of organic matter and nutrients. And he's an advocate in Fort Wayne when they plant a lot of trees down there. I had seen them with Chinese, you know, the dog. I'm going to bring that here. Sorry. With the Japanese tree lilac, and so that's kind of where I started thinking that, you know, that might be a good person. They have used a lot of those, and it is a pretty tree, but the engineering of the city down there is not approving increased costs to improve the soils. But, you know, as the tree is young, you know, it's getting water in that upper part, but as the roots grow deeper, if that soil, and we have heavy sand here, and, you know, the soil is sometimes not the best. So it gets compacted and there's not space for air and water and root expansion. So you could have a beautiful tree for a couple of years and it's like take a turn for the worse. So he had given me a couple of sources for trees, and I'm reaching out to them as well. But you know,
I saw the one you sent is a column. What is it?
No, so that was another email. If we're looking at streetlights someday, and that's been a goal of Advance Rome City, I did at Pickleball have a friend that's an architect, and there's a civil engineer. And so on Sunday, I met him for the first time, and I'm getting off track, which I do easily here. But he said he would. I said, you know, can you give me some ballpark figures? What are we talking about to do a town, you know? And, you know, that's something not for this meeting, but the trees are limbed up a minimum of 15 feet. You got a lot of semis going through, and I know that the fire department with some of the flags that, you know, some of them are getting ripped because the ears are so wide and whatever. So that's a discussion for another day, but 10 feet over a sidewalk. And he sent one picture that the trucks had just trimmed trees.
Yeah, yeah.
But we don't want that happening. So trying to be sensitive to the site. And so we're also before I get off of Gap Park, right now we would have 3 redbud trees, Eastern redbud. You're familiar with those, and those would be planted inside the path, the sidewalk there. And I would like to meet with one of you and put some stakes out there. I have those tagged. This time of year, and I went early to Hewlands, you can have a landscaper and he wants 10 of them and they're gone. Or you get the one that kind of leans to the right. So I tagged some of those, and I did release the dogwood. I said, I'm sorry, that's just like I'm gonna hold that up. So then we, across the street to the right of the trail, we would have Roberta's dad's tree. Hopefully we can find that dogwood. And then the left, I have a couple of other shade shrubs. There's a viburnum that has very thick leaves and it has horizontal branching, double filed viburnum. I had one of those in my yard. It's beautiful in the spring and it has nice branching there.
So that's not involving us though, correct? Because he's saying on the south side of Lions.
Oh, by the tree or the rock where Beth and Mike own, or, yeah, that would be, I'm pretty sure that's no trails on that side.
Oh, by the tree.
I talked to you a while ago and I thought you said,
Yeah, that.
I said, was there any right of way there?
Well, I'm gonna look here.
Just double checking so we don't So Roberta wants her dad's on that side.
Right, well, we originally were gonna put it in Gap Park, and then we got to the choice, it needs more shade, and that's all day sun, so, it would sort of survive there, but it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Prolific.
Gravel probably on that side of the parking.
So you're still gonna see it from the park, there, and, you know, the biggest thing is like trying to stay out of the way of mowers.
Yeah.
And as I said today, you know, some mulch around it, you should be fine. When they don't have any in Nebraska, then they nip the tree, they try to get too close and then the tree died. So I'd also sent you information, we are starting a, tribute tree program. And this would be the third page of that, and I did send an email, so you can maybe get a copy. I just had, your email, Tina, this is the other member there. And this is something, that I would have to discuss with the town, tribute tree policy, and it basically says that, individuals, we would not be responsible if the tree dies, and
Not my time.
tree selection, that's gonna be the tricky part. The basic cost would be $300. We would make a little bit of money on that, depending on, you know, to do other trees or other projects. Somebody could,
It goes all the way.
It depends on how close to the trail you're talking, because you can kind of see where
So this.
the right of way is on either side.
Right.
Depends on how close to the trail you're talking.
so it goes pretty close to the street, you're saying?
Putting
On either side of the trail.
Because this is our side over here. This is Gap, but right there's.
who's that? Who's that over there?
That's gonna be.
There's right of way
Oh,
on either side of it.
Yeah, I also played pickleball with Jared Gap, and, you know, he said, kind of basically whatever you want to do, you know,
Yeah, I don't think he cares.
appreciate, the enhancement, but,
Yeah, just verifying with him because it looks like we would not have a say over that, right? Yeah,
Not in that specific location that he wants to put it in.
so just verify.
this is the other.
Oh,
So this was a project in my old hometown that we had done, and so I've got the logo, you know, to put Rome City in there. And this would be a trifold. But the hard part is they have to contact myself, and then, you know, they want a real fussy tree, and I'm trying to sell a native, and
So is that what's kind of going on right now with you, like
Well,
with Roberta? I'm saying this is like a first one, like Roberta, is that kind
Right.
of where they're wanting a specific and then, right?
right. So I'm more than willing to give it a shot. But, and we don't want a lot of trees the first year. I think we need to have some growing experience. No pun intended, just, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But, you know, we've got 3 red buds, which I think would be beautiful for,
Mhm.
for gap there to start the others. Although somebody at Pickleballs said, well, I'd love to get one from my mom, and, you know, but she's a realtor and that's particular. When you look at the way she dresses.
Can't we just,
you know,
for us, can we just list trees that are
Acceptable.
acceptable?
Oh, that might be a smart idea.
You wouldn't be easier to do that than, because, yeah.
Right, well, the problem is we have to find sources. I have for, in the other, community, I have sources that the town had approved. And, some trees you can only let spray, other trees. When,
Yeah, dogwoods are fall planter.
So is Hewland, have you talked to Tina at Hewlands to see if they would order, if they can order? No. Okay,
You've talked to Tina before, correct?
me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
you know
kinda-
the answer then.
I kind of joke with Tina, she's like, oh, you know, we gotta get these trees off the truck and I have no help. And I said, well, maybe I should get a part-time job. But no, she's cooperative, but, like some of these trees come from Oregon, some come
I
from.
know she's been having a lot of problems this year because of the trucking and fuel.
Have you looked in Shipshawana? I don't know if there was any nurseries or anything in that, around that area.
The other one, was it Meyer? I looked it up today, but I can't find it.
6,
On 6,
yeah.
outside of Ligonier, between Ligonier and
Syracuse?
Syracuse, there on the
Yeah,
right.
I can't remember the name of that one is.
It's a Myers tree.
And they're supposed to, if I remember right, they're supposed to do native.
Okay, not many, the.
Redbud is
Red
coming.
bud is-
I don't think Myers is in there.
There's a motion.
How's it
Because
spelled?
we bought some, he
MEYER?
has
Yeah, it is
trees,
mine.
MEYE.
MYERS.
And they're in Syracuse?
They're,
Well, they're on
They're
6.
they're on 6, they're right outside of Syracuse.
You have to really be looking for design. You can miss it, really miss it.
That's on the right.
So they're a landscape nursery.
They
They
have
have
a lot of natives, but we also had some non-natives though, because we had spider wart new one everywhere.
Yeah.
So
So they're around.
We're looking at trees.
I think with trees, he had a large part of that.
I'll give them a call.
I'm just saying that would be a close enough, it's not too far.
Considered local.
Not yet, okay. I don't know if you're gonna, like I said, I don't know if you're struggling to, yeah, Shipshawana might be another option. I don't know if there's. any
There's
trees.
just not a lot of nurseries around here.
There used to be a lot more.
I don't know if you're gonna.
And then finding a suitable size
Yeah.
tree. I mean, if you get one that's this tall.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna have to reduce our
Yeah.
price. We're looking for something that's 6 foot higher or so. But we'll give it our best. The other thing that I talked to today was, putting some perennial plants around the sign. I had talked to, Roberta, when they did the circle, there was clumps of topsoil and I don't know if yeah, there's any left over. And I drive pipes all the time because I live in Lions Drive. I stopped and talked to the guy and his 12-year-old son was helping him and they were spreading the topsoil. You know, we planted the grass seed up around our cement. I did take a shovel around the sign. was very gravelly, so I suspected the worst, but it's not bad. I think if we threw a couple bags of topsoil in there. Things that would not require maintenance, I know you would, something that you don't wanna have to send a crew out there to, when I die, you might have to, but. I don't know, and as we expand with art, that's always a consideration. And control planners and centers and so. Their pepperoni scallops. You know, and so if you're in your meetings or if you find somebody that loves to garden, we'll take a day, we'll take every Thursday. And I've reached out to Master Garden.
I was just gonna say that. Have you reached a master? Really? To other places?
Project, so it's kind of word of mouth. So. And some people, you know, I know, hey, we need to wait up pepperonis again a couple hours. They'll do it, but.
Becky's back.
Becky's back. Becky and I have separate gardens. And Rhonda.
I guess I kind of know why that is too.
Rhonda was a saint and she just realized, like, well, Joe's gonna garden over here, you're gonna, and we had a tangle. I think I maybe shared this. She's a special ed teacher. And, oh, that patience, how does that work with, that's gonna need a lot of tender loving care. And I said, Becky, no disrespect, and I'm sure you're a great teacher, but were you ever none in your previous life? You just need that 12-inch ruler. She did laugh. She knew exactly. And I met with the principal at Rome City about a tree today as well. For we have some money left over from the debt company. She kind of smiled at that too. She, yeah, Becky comes in and says, "I need to talk to Heather right now." And, secretaries are very good about, but God bless Becky. I mean, she does.
She does.
She's our.
Yeah.
So we have kind of smoothed the differences and we're on good terms this
Just as
week.
long as we're in separate gardens. I get it. That's funny.
Whatever works, right?
But she kept saying, "You're spending too much money." And I said, "Well, we're raising this money to improve the
Mhm.
town and beautify it. And, you know, I wanted to put some winter interest. Well, that shrub costs X." And I said, "You know, well, we'll pass it, that passes the board and whatever." But different strokes.
Yes.
Good luck, God love her. We would be lost without her. And so.
Yeah, whatever you would, I mean, like I told you today, I think the only thing we're concerned about is the follow up. And like you said, once you're gone, you know, because I think that's kind of how the plants got planted out at Kelly Park was Ed, maybe back in his day, put in really nice flower beds out at Kelly and then no one was, and the weeds are like this tall. So it's just more of the maintenance of what happens there. So
That's me.
and only thing that which I mean we can look at too is just making sure the width of it.
Right.
Just
Yeah,
so
and
for
use that
driving,
truck
yeah,
safety
yeah,
there, but
yeah.
It would be kind of a curve for interest.
Okay.
Small.
Okay,
It could always be enlarged, but it just.
something to start to put some color, yeah. Yeah.
See how it goes.
Okay.
And then, you know, with the trees, you know, we've been blessed with a lot of rain in this respect, but not for the lake and getting lifts in and
Yeah.
all that with piers. And I do have a pier that floated in a wooden pier. I'm hoping the Lake Association, if no one claims it, I did put it on Facebook, but it was floating down. And so I was able to kind of grab it and get it up.
If it's wooden, it's heavier than I'll get out
And I
because
torn rotator cuff 60%, so I did my best, but it's still there. And then there was a big, it was about this big, it was a log that I didn't know what was underneath, and it was too far out. We ran an errand and it came back. I thought it would wash in, but it didn't. It floated downstream. Scott Stein.
which direction? I saw it out in the middle of ours yesterday.
It went past our house.
It'll end up clogged in the.
Well,
So
maybe the
that-
construction guy would see it.
Maybe, doubt it.
There was some fishermen that went by. I said, watch out for a big floating log, but it was like, it was like the end of the log.
It was weird.
Yeah, it just surprised me, but I don't know where it came from. And it looked like firewood or somebody just got a tree or
Wow.
whatever. Scott had, I think Boy Scouts Highland, they have some wooden piers, that they, that rental, and I guess there's issues every year. They kind of
Totally.
float away or, they're not taken out. Things.
It's probably the Airbnb next to me. They lost one of their pairs.
Oh, did they?
Which, it's only underwater for half the year because their seawall's so down, like our seawall's here and theirs is down here. Can't help them.
All right. Well, is there anything else that you need from us, John? Thank you for the update.
Sorry for the confusion in the
No,
beginning, but.
That's okay. That's okay.
We're just, getting our communication going there.
Yeah.
I did, but the hard part is, it's a busy season for Advanced From City.
Yeah.
Planting, and then it's a busy season for Tiffany, and if we have to have this dialogue. I stopped in and she's like, oh, we haven't answered your email, and
Yeah.
that's okay, I just wanna
Yeah.
settle this one point,
Yeah.
but. So it would be nice if we could kind of come up, I agree with you, to come up with a list of trees, but.
That people can,
But
yeah.
the problem is, I just don't have sources.
Yeah.
So we'll have to do some more research.
With this one.
So yeah, if we had like a reliable place, their inventory is. You could do that.
The other issue, Tiffany, on the Coosa dogwood,
That's on that thing I sent you.
He just sent you.
What I just sent you, that Myers has that tree, but that's the one that's not native, right?
yes and no.
So you could agree to whether you wanted to keep it or not. And I think has a picture of it in there if you want to show it to them.
The,
Myers does have that.
And they had some kind of a cherry, and then they had that Japanese thing you were talking about. It must be the it tree of the year.
oh, is it?
Well, how they go. We had that calorie pear was the it tree for a while. Now it's
I talked to a nurse
no longer.
in Old Town in Illinois, and. I said,
Well-
where are you at with the pears? And they said, we can't sell any at all next year. There's, the ones that were very invasive that, they haven't sold that variety, but there were other ones that weren't bad, they just taken it off the list. Yeah, we have a pear nursery. So.
Kind of got a bad name, the poor pear trees.
The, let's see. No, I'm not getting this trans, I'm not on the Wi-Fi. The Coosa is a really pretty one. It's-
Can you use to show off the view?
it's got like a 4-petal root. And I need to find out, Tiffany is saying, well, it's mildly invasive in New York. But, is that gonna matter here? And, everything has a life cycle, we all have a life cycle and plants do too. Some plants only last 30, 50 years. They're out. But, I would like to come back and say, I can't find,
Yeah.
are you open to this? It's not invasive, but, and it's on lists that cities are planting in other areas.
And I think if that's,
Here it is.
There's a
Heartthrob dog. And then there's a cherry that and then that Japanese thing I think that he was talking about a couple months back is on there also.
Yeah, he's talking about
Cornice.
Coosa. And I use Morton Arboretum in western suburbs of Chicago. Morton Salt started that, and it is acres and acres of trees and shrubs, very naturalistic. I think the sources that, if you ever want to look up a tree, that's a good site. The native dogwood, the gray one that we're searching for, it's native, but it suckers a lot. So that could be an issue if you've got, somebody else to go in and try to cut
Suckers off of it,
cut
yeah.
the suckers off, because, they get.
Right.
And you don't have the main shrub anymore. So there's pluses and minuses. This one is a lot easier to sell, to this, realtor that dresses to the nines.
Did you, wait, they do have that one, and they have the Myers, what that we were told you about, the Japanese.
And they were talking about a cherry that they said blooms. It's like a double flower and it's pink. I don't know if that was native or not. I couldn't figure out the name of it other than just a cherry tree.
I know,
But I might have
they
skipped
got
over it.
something in there. He's very- I would not be surprised if they have. Just because he's very much that way.
Yeah. I mean, this is a beautiful park of a cherry. It's,
Yeah,
and there are big, some trees get 100 feet tall.
We don't want that.
If we got a
yeah,
Yeah, I thought that flower's cool.
Yeah. I do too. I like that cherry.
Now, how big does that?
Kawanza. I'm guessing it's not native. Kawanzan. Just by the name.
The native tribe.
Not that.
That's not cool.
We were talking. the other night-
Potawatomi.
We were talking the other night of how many lakes around here are called Tamarack.
It's
That was kind of-
Prunus or Lata Kawanas. Prunus and then Serrulata is what do they call that? The Kawanzan cherry tree. It blooms in large clusters of 3 and 5 flowers per cluster. That's what it pretty much figured after. And then that's that. Did you say it was the Japanese ivory silk tree lilac? Is that what you were looking at originally? So that's that one that he was talking about originally.
That's pretty cool.
I have a multi-stem quarter property. It's not like a typical lilac that has but this
Yeah.
has a pretty big bloom. The Emmelanker, which is a service berry that there are 4 of them at the conservatory, across from Miller's there,
Mhm.
the landing.
Yeah.
That's a pretty tree. It's a apple blossom, then it turns into a blueberry type berry, and the birds just love that. And it's not a mess because the birds
Eat 'em.
eat it all. My kids, when they were little, we eat them sometimes right off the tree, or we wash them and eat them. They're a little different than blueberry, but they are edible for humans.
Who knew?
And that's what you want in any kind of landscape. You want a you just don't want the spring bloom
Yeah.
tree, but it has then an orange, red type leaf in the fall. And the dogwoods turn red in the fall.
Okay.
So it's kind of nice to have
Yeah.
that. I've taken enough of your time. I could talk plants forever, but.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that Myers is someone you should reach out to because I think they.
Sorry.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll
Thank you, Joe.
report back to you. That's said, I'm gonna fail at the Morton Arboretum next week. Another contention with my wife because we have 3 grandsons, 6, and just turned.
Oh, take them with you.
Well, the bigger boys are in school. The other ones
Okay.
have 2 naps and he's not breastfeeding.
Oh,
But there's a lot of bottles in the fridge. Yeah. They're gonna be out of the country. So.
oh,
And
my.
then there's baseball and soccer and first communion and I know why you left it.
Correct.
Oh, my word.
This may be our last time. But yeah, warning. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming in. We
I'll try
appreciate
to
the
keep you
information.
posted.
Thank you so much.
With the information.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Have a great day.
You too, you too. All right. Moving on, when to open restrooms, I would say like anytime now.
So,
They do midday.
Update, but they did do Kelly
They did.
last week.
Yep.
So the concessions open or usable when Dustin's out there because they don't keep them open. And the one by the tennis court is ready to be open, but I didn't let him open it until we talked.
I think we've usually been mid-April, haven't we? We go mid-April.
I'm
mid-October.
Normally it's in May. Well, we normally did like the concessions, I think,
No, I'm
for
talking.
baseball.
About the
Yeah.
tennis court.
but I'm not sure we open them in April. I mean, we can because the weather's decent.
The weather's gonna be decent. There isn't no more freezing.
Mm-mm.
And this is to May 4th. So
Yeah, even my
Yeah.
wife said something about Gap when she was out cruising around on her
Yeah,
little electric bikes.
She couldn't just cruise home and go to the bathroom.
Well, that thing doesn't go that fast.
so if you wanted to open the ones by tennis courts, May 1st, because that would be pickleball.
Well, I was thinking I would wait until, I was thinking about just waiting until they had the, yeah. Unless we had it rented. We don't have, when's the first Kelly rental?
And I would say gas, go ahead, because people are out riding. I mean, it's been nice enough for
Our
people.
first reservation is May 16th.
So he should be done before that because the fencing's in, the guys are gonna pull the rest of what he didn't use off of there. And then David talked to him today and he said he's hoping to be hopefully next week. And it's a 2-step, 3-step process because he has to do the green first or the red first. Then he does the green, then he does the lines. Might be a 4-step process on the tennis court because he's gonna have to do lines for tennis and pickle. On that one. So that'll be 4 colors. And the pickleballs will probably just be 3. But he had said, well, we can do red and green or we can do blue. And I forget what the other option was. I go, just stick with red and green. We don't need anything fancy.
So I would say open gap now. Grant is, I don't know what you want to do. There's a lot of people at the dog park, so I don't know if we should just go
There's a
ahead and
lot.
open that. They're using it for baseball, I'm saying. so
Yeah.
they'll have it-
I would say we only want to leave
During
one
hours.
open during all the time, and that's the one towards parking lot. You will have a key to the other one.
Yeah.
So you can open it at the games.
Yeah.
Or if you have boys and girls or whatever, and you want, but we made that one unisex out
Yeah.
on towards
Yeah,
the
it was like,
parking lot because we didn't want to have both of them open and especially the one on the backside.
But I would say open
know,
that now.
Because we have no
baseball
visual
season
of that
and-
one.
yep,
But we can get them ready and then you would just be in charge of locking that one up if you used it
I will.
on the backside. So we gotta get a hold of, and I never can remember her first name, Amanda, because she did stop in. So we'll try to get those open this week.
Okay, so next up, American 250 picnic, July 5th. There's question marks there because I was questioned about this because the chamber has been putting together a picnic on Sunday, July 5th. They've asked the churches to take it and take it over. And I think there's a breaking communication, which is not surprising, but they never sent anything to us and they're planning on doing it gap.
Well, because originally so, yeah. eh, I am, so-
That was supposed to be July 4th.
no, I am part of this 250 committee for the county, and then our group put me on their committee. I have yet to been able to make a meeting because I've been so busy. I can't think.
Yeah.
But when they talked to me about it, they asked me about Kelly Park. And we checked the schedule and nobody was using it. And I thought we blocked it off for the chamber, didn't we?
No.
Which date?
July 5th.
You said the other day there was nothing black.
So go ahead and put a block on that because
You want me to, because typically I put private reservations, you want me to actually put something that's for this?
I would maybe just put America 250 picnic or something, and then I will text Roberta and I'll go, hey, I was at the park board meeting, so I blocked out the Kelly Park for your picnic, and then see what response I get back.
Well, I'll tell you, she forwarded the person forwarded the text, because there was a question, because like I said, I just was told this, I said, what are you talking about? There's no picnic in Gap Park. We wouldn't allow that because we don't allow reservations. So she said, Candy went to the meeting, Roberta Stone said the Gap Park. So that just needs to be clarified that that's.
Is that gonna be an all day?
No.
18.
No.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want anybody else coming in after us. Is that what you're asking? One event per day. Cause I don't have my guys coming and cleaning in between.
Okay, so it'd be Kelly Park.
And it could be that somebody got that screwed up in the chain.
But the thing is,
Either Candy or the person then that she told, you know what I mean?
but the thing that doesn't make sense is that I could see if it was a picnic, but like they're wanting all the churches to provide meat. Yes. So it's,
They want them to make the meat. I think we're paying for the meat. Cause we don't have any way of cooking it ourselves, and I'm not getting involved in that.
correct. Okay, so we'll wait to see more on that. Joel, anything to tell us?
No, the only question I have, is like, when would you like to, when is it expected to be done?
Well, we told him May, didn't we?
You said May 2026. So I just wanted to.
Yeah,
make sure
so
getting photos and stuff.
sometime in May. So the fencing's up out there. So if you wanted to do an in progress, you could. And then he thought he might get here this week or next week. So it just depends on the weather and what works out for him.
Pretty good.
And after looking at the fencing, I'm not sure how we ever thought we were gonna do 4 there. Because, so his thing was, we don't normally have fence and tennis courts, which that's probably is true. But you normally have the courts all going the same direction. Mind you, these would be the same direction back to back, but then you have a player playing this way and a player playing this way, facing opposite directions. If the courts are close enough together and they went back for a ball, they could potentially run into each other or trip over somebody else's ball coming from a court behind them. You expect balls come from the side, but I don't know. I think this is gonna be better.
We don't want to chase a fall.
Well, we did. We did when we had the,
We'll probably, I don't know, we might, because we turned them east and west too. We're going this way. Before that had been mentioned by
Yeah.
Daryl and a bunch of them not to do it that way, to keep it going north and south.
Correct.
Oh, wow.
They are still east and west, or north and south.
The way they look yet, oh, they
No,
are?
they're north and south.
No, you're probably looking at the fence. There's a divider.
Yeah.
There's a divider in there.
Net in the middle.
Oh, so
Then
they-
there'll be two nets.
Oh, that's probably what was throwing me off. I didn't get out and look, so. it
They
I
might-
walked
put a
in.
divider between both courts.
So there's a big fence between,
So
from
pickleball is
the
still-
tennis court to the pickleball.
Court is still-
And then there's a small 4 foot between the two.
No, I know, but it looked like
Pickleballs.
because of that fence, I'm like, oh, they're going in.
Because he had the. spot-
Well, they're still open on the ends, you know, like 4 foot openings, because we didn't put gates on those.
That makes sense.
But yeah, it will eliminate some of that flying around.
Okay, that makes sense then, because when I went to. Yeah, I told her that was my throw off. When she described it, I thought it meant we were going back to just one pickleball, one tennis, and I'm like, so that's what the question was. So then I called her, I'm like, okay, explain this to me. And then I saw the picture she sent you, and I go, so we still do, so we still have 3 for tournament. Okay.
The only way you can do 4 is get rid of tennis all the way, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
when I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because tennis takes up half the court. So their perimeter that, and I had it all written down, but their perimeter that they have to have is 120 by 60 basically, which I think we ended up with. I think the tennis court is still at 60, 120 by 60, and then when I did it all up, it's not actually 120 by 120, it's 120 by 118. So then all my numbers were screwed up. So I had to redo it again. But so I think the pickleball court's 58, which is fine because we have more than enough space for the pickleballs.
But that's good.
We can put benches in. We're gonna have to look at the tennis court. I think we'll be all right because what they did with the tennis court is so where they set the net posts. Because the net posts for the tennis court are set out 3 foot from the line. So they did that post 12 foot from the post to the fence. So we actually have 15 feet and you need 12. Is that right?
So
Yeah, I think that's right.
you could possibly put a bench in.
So you can definitely get one on the tennis. And I think we can probably put them maybe on the backs.
Yeah.
Although maybe it's more on the sides.
As I say,
The-
sides.
I have the drawing more on the sides because.
Yeah.
Don't ask me where it's at.
Really?
We can probably put big in the back.
If I had the minutes done, it would be a lot more helpful. But I'm 5 minutes behind people. And it's getting worse.
Yeah, I don't feel.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
But now I'm curious.
We can get out there and kind of see one within that. Yeah.
It'll
Makes
help
more
me with this
sense.
one, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Let's go on. So you just needed to know that, so that's okay, yeah.
We also do have, according to this, 51 people are interested in Todd Airbnb.
Yeah.
And 41 interested in Gospel Sing Park.
Okay, so I will just say to you guys, unless you guys have some, so Val and I've been communicating on that one. We have 3 acts right now for the gospel. I told her I was gonna try to seek a 4th one. And one of the ways I was going, it didn't work, so I didn't know if I should reroute back and ask. So Bluegrass is totally not functioning anymore as a travel or like a.
Oh, okay.
They're not doing it. They were one of the groups that did it last year. I can reach out and see if there's any of that group that would play for that. I mean, I don't think they go around and do it other places, but I don't know. I could call Jerry or have Jim talk to him and ask. Or ask Chuck if there's any that went to that might just play bluegrass separate. Like, you know what I mean? Like Chuck, because Chuck and Val's group are singing again. Roy Mosley's coming, and then his brother, I don't know, you know, maybe
Crossing
Roy's
Who,
brother.
Roy's brother?
Donnie, is it Donnie? Yeah, there's one that sings, she
Yeah.
said, Val said, but it's the other.
What's
one.
Val's group called? Crossing Jordan?
Yep.
Down Crossing Jordan. The ones that were there last year that we had was Grace Notes, Crossing Jordan, the Idings, and the Bluegrass Gospel Praise Band.
Oh, yeah, that was a mouthful. Good News Gospel Praise Band.
So they're,
Otherwise known as DNC.
so I can ask if there's anybody from the Bluegrass, like as a group, if there's any, they would want. I just know the group that. Then the other thing is I need to find out if Roy or any of them have their own sound and if they're providing sound. That's the other question. So I will contact Val and get on connection. Remember last year we had to ask the guy in Bluegrass that did it, and then he charged us a lot, and then it wasn't what I thought, and so
It wasn't
I have
sound.
another option, if not, that I could pursue if needed.
The sound was not good.
Or I have a thing and possible, I have a possible.
So none of the other groups were interested, or we
We
didn't
did
ask
not
about.
ask,
Okay.
so I could reach back out to Grace Notes again. The only thing I would like for them to do is to run through the sound system. They're the ones that tried to run their own sound off of it. And it didn't sound good. So I just need to that's what I need to do. I was actually trying, yeah, I'll just put my head in. After May 3rd, I'm cruising through May as a teacher. That my big things are done. I have 2 big things done. May 3rd is like, so I can put more time.
And she didn't have any suggestions.
She's the one that she contacted Roy, and then she's the one that got the other, whoever it is.
Any other, Roy's brother.
Roy, but
Okay, that's what I put down.
It is that we're gonna.
Oh, Roy's brother.
Brother. Like brother.
Roy
brother,
and his
now kind of
brother.
thing, like.
So I didn't, I had went to Billy Fields, someone in Fields Church, to see if there's anyone there. And they said there's a Parsons family, but they weren't sure if they were in there. So that was another one that I was trying to find.
I'm sure it's Parsons or Pearson. Because the lady that used to work with me at Chase, I think she's at Lake City Bank, Barb Pearson. She used to be in the group. And I could see, I don't know, she might still be out there. I could ask her. If she knows, you want me to?
Yeah, go ahead. We're just trying to find the 4th one and get it dialed in.
If she's still at Lake City, I could, actually, she's not at Lake City. She might be at, is there still a bank out at Walmart?
We're just trying to find the 4th.
That was national.
Cause that I think is where she went, but Brooke Bentley, cause she took over for this Barb at Lake City. She might know how to get a hold of her.
Well, then the other option.
Well, she doesn't live down
The
here.
other option was to have, like, a couple different people just give them like 10 minutes each or something, and then
You like kind of karaoke singing, yeah.
like Dawn, and that even mentioned before. There's some that sing, so maybe that's another option. So that 4th slot is the only thing we're holding, and I gotta find out the name of Roy's brother.
Once you guys get me the names, I'll build that. So that way we can.
So that 4th slot is. Just double checking to see if I actually put it.
I don't think she even lives here in the county anymore.
Oh, it is. Donald. She says, I've gotten Roy Mosley and Donald as a solo singer. So she's already having someone come in as a solo. He's not
Okay.
with Roy. Roy's band is Unlikely Disciples. And Donald is just Donald Mosley.
Yeah.
So we do have a single person. Maybe if we try to get a group again.
Well, I mean,
But I'll also talk to Val. And I'll
I
double
mean, you
check.
could always reach out to this
Grace
Grace Notes,
Yeah,
cause they might sound better with decent sound.
I think they, well. That was a. That's why I said they were.
Okay, that's the
They
one I
were.
thought.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go to this one. Was it June 5th?
All right, all right. Baseball, Mr. Dustin, is finally you.
Oh, a lot.
Well, he's Mr. Helium art, so he never says no. He has that balloon, which is, it's attached to his wrist and he just can't keep it down. So he ends up taking on
Overcommitting.
more than he can.
Overcommitting.
Well, it's for my birthday. It was good.
All right, Dustin. So what are you doing?
Oh, well, I've
Okay,
been,
give us an
everything's, this is going pretty good, really.
You have the schedule.
Yeah, I think, did she send it to you?
Schedule, I didn't
Yeah.
get anything yet,
Okay.
but that doesn't mean
Make
she didn't
it.
send it.
Then I'll send it to you.
That'd be perfect. 'Cause then I can put-
I have, yeah,
I need it for the
I have
budget.
all,
Did you
the
send it?
yeah, I already sent it to
You
them.
did?
Yep, and I have it.
Dustin, look. Look at that.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. You're like the fifth person.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Did you get my text just
Mm-mm.
before the meeting?
Nope.
Cause I said, did you remember the meeting?
Yeah, I remembered it. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Do you have an iPhone?
No, I don't know what's going on.
Maybe it has something to do with iPhone to yours.
Yeah, because it's like the fifth person that said something.
Well, I tried like 3 times. I'm like, I know this phone
I
works.
heard it, and Desi's is going through. But not like it's certain people.
Well,
Blocking us.
I probably got everybody blocked. But I can still message to
It's that
you.
dang town hall bugging me again. I'm not gonna answer her.
I'm gonna make her figure it out. And it could be the iPhone thing.
I have iPhone.
Because I think Cody, because he said the same thing. It was at a baseball game. He says, "Wait, you don't like me?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "You messaged me, and then you want." He says, "You got me blocked." I said, "No, I don't."
Yeah,
We're gonna start posting Dustin Hicks. Your friends think you won't be in. He's blocking everybody.
and then when I try to send this, the stuff that I send to you go through.
Yeah, I can get you.
See, this
Well, I
is
think.
where it says not delivered 3 different times.
Me too.
No, I
Or-
can send to you guys, but you can't send to me.
Yeah,
It has to be. 'Cause-
so I said, the thing about the water, I said, yes. With the water's on at Kelly. One,
I never
two,
seen that. I was
three-
just surprised.
3 times that I sent that, and then today I
Like,
sent
oh,
this. Did you remember the
So
meeting?
nice.
You just thought I was ignoring you, huh?
Yeah, I was like, oh, she's busy today.
Maybe I'll just have to instant message you.
Yeah, well, that's
Become your
what
friend
she was
on-
emailing me.
Facebook.
I ended up emailing them. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, Dustin, you gotta get your email.
No, well, probably like when we were in high school, I did, like right after.
Okay, so we'll come back and figure that out. But what's the update? What do you have going on?
Well, I've got the schedule.
Okay.
We've got everything, the practice schedule. There's a lot of moving parts with the practice schedule because of like the age restriction on Grant and a certain time. Everybody's got from pretty much Monday through Thursday, just about almost, there's a few slots left.
Both ball diamonds?
Pretty much. There's a few. There's practices starting at 4. Pretty much going to like 2:30. But I've been given one, I know it's an hour and a half. It's the only way I can do it. It's the only way I can do it. So
Unless you move to the field and just
See,
grounding.
that's how
in
I
the ball
actually-
field.
that's how I kind
Grounding.
of explained it to them. Like, if you want a 2-hour practice, if you come, it's hard if you start at 4, but you could 4 to 5:30, but you could actually go to 6 if you just move to the field. And the same way with start. There's so much room out there too.
So that just reminds me, we had only been double mowing diamonds. We probably need to double mow football field too.
Now, he knew about that too, so he might, I don't know,
Already be doing it?
he might be, I don't know though.
Okay, I'll
He
check
was,
that.
he
I will
was
check that.
informed on that though,
Okay,
so he knew. And I did send it to him.
okay.
And for until the games start, then everybody will have to go to one a day or one a week practice. And it'll be a lot difficult because softball and Grant on Monday they start at 5:30. And it's only one game at Grant on Monday, one game at Kelly. Then Tuesday, one game at Grant, one game at Kelly, and on Wednesday, you'll have a game at Kelly and then a double game of softball at Kelly. I'm at Grant. One game at Grant, double header at Kelly.
So most of your games are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays?
And Thursday.
Oh, and Thursday.
Yep. Baseball starts at 6. Softball starts whatever time they decide it starts. That's what I've learned.
He's finding out that softball does not run like baseball. There's a lot of,
Yeah, softball is,
Whatever they feel like.
it's what it is, really is, like. They got a little bit of a method, but I mean, you can kind of change it a little bit. You have to, but you have to get coaches. There's just a lot. So I kind of just went off of their schedule.
So when do games actually start, May?
The first one is April 27th at 5:30.
is that baseball or
It's
softball?
softball. It's my little D league. Yeah, I'm coaching that.
That's where the balloon went.
Anything about softball?
That one I don't have to teach pitch.
Okay.
Good. But just wait. But
John, he might need a backup.
I have practice at 7 o'clock for D league. I'm not gonna make it.
Well, you might.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
No, I'm kind of helping the coaches out what I'm doing. They have coaches, but they're new. Trying to give them a little bit of structure because I can't make all the games. There's no problem. No.
Right.
But the D League though, I think I am the head coach of that. So, that's me. But that's pretty much just T-ball with the pitching machine. So and it's kindergarten to second grade. So it's kind of wild. Not bad, but
Burden cats is what that'll be like.
yeah, I got it. But she's in T-ball, not that. But I'm probably gonna have to pull her a few times. She might have to be playing this. She might be standing out and out. Because sometimes I get the first day I had 9, the second day I had 6, then the next day I had 9 again. So you don't know what you're gonna.
So when's the first game for baseball then?
The first game for baseball would be May 5th at Kelly Park. And that is 12U. Because I'm pretty, yeah, I have, yep, May
This is
5th.
crazy. I'm gonna tell you, it makes my heart happy when I drive down Granville and see the wild.
Did you see how full they were?
Yes.
That's pretty neat.
Looks like you had a lot of people at the cleanup too.
I had about 40.
That's great.
God.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. It was so nice. We scheduled for 2 hours and I took off 5 hours to leave, so then an hour and a half and we were done. It was like a whole crew, man. It was nice.
That's awesome.
It's 12 you. I will send this to you.
You see, so.
You won't be able to respond.
Correct.
Everybody.
Tuesday, so 336-3674.
If you need him, go through email. He
Yeah.
will reply.
I'll
to
reply.
that.
Instant
All right, hold on, I'm
message.
back here. 336-367. And then-
Nice.
So
That's awesome. 40 people for cleanup. That's awesome.
So, let's go.
Happy.
Ellie, so. But that is the schedule for both parks. And that's everything. It's not the practice schedule, but that is all the games
Okay,
schedule.
and you'll give me the practice schedule?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Right now, the practice schedule it's 4 to 8:30. I can give you, and it's pretty much every day, but once they change. Right now, I haven't really come up with a plan on that other than kind of let them say, you're available for this day because you have games on this certain teams can pick out of
Yeah.
these.
And this
That's
is,
all I really can do. It's just, I wish we had like this, you are available, just a dirt field somewhere for practices or something.
these are
That's all
all
hard.
Kelly Barton. All of these on this schedule are Kelly Barton.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and then the other one I sent you, the last one I sent you is all gray. And I got it, just wrote on, yeah. And it gives you like D-League 12 game.
Would you find it helpful to have on here the actual when they are? Is that helpful to anybody or just the fact that they're coming from the worker's perspective? The
Why are
calendar.
y'all staring at
The
me?
calendar.
Oh,
You want it to say who it is
Yeah.
and, or do you want it just to say that there's a game?
No,
The
I would say-
purpose of this is basically.
No, but the other point is if they know, you might even have someone look to see who, like,
they might go to the game.
right, or if there's someone coming from an opposing team or whatever. I'm just saying it might help. Ahead. If
Can you make Rome City versus Rome City?
So I think it would help if you just do that, something versus Rome City versus Villa, Rome City, whatever. Is that possible or not?
Oh, yeah, what I'm trying to figure. Okay, I'll put what you have here. And then how long do these typically last? Or
You don't
what's-
have to put the, you can just put starting.
I would say, yeah,
what's
starting
for duration? Because
duration,
that's
like
the-
D-League.
With mowing?
Yeah.
He's wanted me to see when.
He's mowing during the day.
He told me he's gonna mow before
During the
4
day.
o'clock.
No mowing.
He said honestly, he'll have it all ready by noon.
The mowing time is not the problem, it's that he wants to know what, but I think he's just gonna have, because it's already been used. Like,
Yeah.
I would say Mondays, Thursdays.
That's
is
not
what-
what
yeah.
That's what
Monday,
he's
Thursdays.
told me. He
Yeah.
just wants to make sure it's a nice field
Yeah.
for the kids. That's what, it's not.
So I'll just tell him Monday, Thursdays, because that would hit both beginning of the week,
Yeah.
he would cut Thursday to go through Saturday.
Well, because
So
I
you
have
can
to
hit
put a
both.
start time, I have to put it in time, so do I just put 2 hours then?
Yeah, I would do that. Well, like D-League is an hour and 15-minute game.
I would just
It's 10.
do 2 hours, cause,
2 hours.
Clean up all the jazz.
yeah, I mean, you don't know. Sometimes you don't know when the game ends. It's kind of,
No. Well, in softball,
Open-ended.
softball has terrible rules. It's drop dead. Or or when it's say drop dead, it's not technically, they go back to the beginning of the inning. What if that team took the lead now and it's over, it hits time limit, it still goes back to the other team winning. Why is I don't know, I'm not a big fan. So.
so you wanna win the first inning? Is that what you're saying?
I guess. No, it goes back to the start of that inning that they're in. Say you're in the 4th inning and your time limit hits. Okay, you're in the 4th inning, but you got last at bat. And you were down 2 runs. Well, you got 3 runs. Well, it hit the time limit. Now it goes back to the start of that 4th inning. So you lost. So what's the point of even doing it?
Because you didn't finish the inning.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you got 10 minutes left, I mean, you might as well just call
Yeah, why start
it.
the
Why
inning?
even start it? I don't know. They were talking about it in the meeting, but they didn't change it. Like, well, that's just a terrible. rule. Let them finish the inning.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, how much more time could it be?
yeah.
I mean, it's just how many times at bat, right? I
Yeah.
don't know that much about it.
And I know why they're doing it is because I've seen their schedule. They're doing 2 games on one night. And that's why, because it's an hour, hour and 20-minute games. They want to make sure it's done for they can start the next game. That's why, but it's still not. Still.
Then why not just end it with the score they have?
Yeah, why not end it with the score they have?
When time's out, and that's what the score is,
Scoring.
whether you gotta go up to bat or not.
Makes sense. I don't know. I'm learning.
I don't know much
Learning
about it.
softball stuff.
We're gonna see that Dustin ends up divorced at the end of the season because he can't stop saying yes, but
Correct.
yeah.
Or you volunteer.
She can't either though. Either.
He's pretty busy. Yeah.
That's what, but yeah, she don't like to coach it, but she sure likes to yell at it. About it. What's that?
That's when you need to give her a coach shirt.
I know.
Get a nice pink one made up. Little glittery coach on the front.
Yep. I
She'll
will.
sit right there with you
Yeah.
and then yell at you. What'd you do?
He's something else. Well, hey, the umpire. This isn't fun. Umpire, we playing travel ball, and it's one of my friends, Chad. And I said, "Hold on, I'll get my wife, and she'll pay you." And she comes up there, and he says, "Well, this is the one that's been yelling at me the whole time." I don't hear. Out there. Dang, Chad, sorry, man. Just to throw her out there. I'm fine with it.
Make her go stand in the corner.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Are you still waiting on the dirt?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're still waiting.
it's, you know,
Yeah.
we've had Noah's Ark rains
I know,
here,
right?
so
Yeah, it's been
hopefully,
flooded. It's been
Wet.
and I learned a lot about the field though. I knew Kelly pretty good, but I didn't really know where he at. Just give it time and it dries out. pretty
It looks good today. Did you
good.
work?
Yeah,
on
I
it?
worked it last
I
night.
was
after
gonna
the
say,
game.
yeah, it looked good.
Huh? Go ahead.
Kind of about 8 o'clock, I turned it over and drove it.
How's the tractor?
I got a leak on the hydraulic line on the plow part. I just always got to raise it up. And then I just got to tighten up. I noticed last night I got to tighten up bolts and stuff. Done that.
And what's Junior doing on gas?
On what?
Getting the gas? Because where's the guys always had to take the gas out there?
Well, I've been doing the fill, Junior ain't even.
Okay.
So
Is he gonna help you?
he will if I ask him to. If I need it, I probably will.
Gives him something to do, too.
Yeah, he needs something. So I
He
will.
likes to do it.
So he does.
So really, all we gotta do is
Goodbye,
go out
my
to the
big-
parks and just see. You're gonna see Dustin. Oh, there he is. No, there he is. Oh, he's over there. Oh, now he's on
He
the
does,
tractor.
but Junior does. He's the, how do you get these filled? I just really need Junior to line him. That's the hard part.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
But when I get the T-ball with that painter, it's not gonna be that bad. We won't do a lot. We won't use a lot of chalk. Because I'm gonna paint the foul lines in the grass. So chalk and then you just only have to chalk the inside.
Oh, yeah, that's
So-
good.
So yeah, gotta paint the T-ball field.
You're gonna have to paint that quite often because
Yeah,
And unless he
I
does,
painted
he
it.
could. He
I
could
painted
do
it.
all.
well, I painted it in the fall. It lasts about 2 weeks.
Even with him mowing over. Okay.
even though it's a double mow, well, he's not double mowing in the fall.
No, well, I did it. I don't know, it was last summer, I guess,
Okay.
but Yeah, it seemed like it last. I don't remember when I did it. I did it last year,
Okay.
but we'll see. And but it's still better than,
Yeah, right.
so I got it. Yeah, and I spray painted it with this little roller thing. That thing will be a whole lot straighter than what it was last year.
All right, moving on, waiting on contract from Brightspeed, any
Yeah,
updates?
nothing's
Okay.
up.
July 4th trucks, we've got those.
Oh, no, you need to, so the list I just
Oh,
gave
sorry.
out to you guys. So I was contacting Street Taco for one of the contracts, and I asked her about 4th of July. Oh, no. Her daughter does the scheduling. July 4th.
Are you
Oh.
serious?
So we need another taco.
We need another taco
There's
truck.
like 3 that we know of.
Why don't you just ask Kelly Newsom's taco
yeah,
truck right here in
that
town?
one's here all the time.
Lupitas is there.
Lupitas is here all the time. They're at the Sylvan.
Yeah.
But I'm
Lupitas,
saying Kelly's a business right here in town. Why don't we just,
is it still going?
as far as I know,
You can ask him.
Tacos and,
Oh,
tacos
I
and
tried to
more?
look them up. Couldn't find
I
something.
haven't seen it.
I can ask Kelly.
Yeah, he's, well, he might have. He
Hey,
did
here's-
last year.
Okay, here's our, yeah, he wanted it last year. Here's my only thing that is, this is, we can't do anything about it. So then we can use street tacos another place though. Is once he's in though, the way we've been running it is once they're in, then we ask them back.
Mhm.
So there is a issue between tacos and more and street tacos, you know. I don't know all of it, but I know there's something, so I'll just have to let her
I
know.
married her. Is that the one?
Yeah, something about X,
Is that the-
her
that
ex.
doesn't
Well,
taco
here's
bar.
the thing.
Something about, yeah.
Oh, good job.
So we'll have to figure that out. Anyways, okay, so
So-
she's not coming July 4th, okay.
No. So, but
That's historic.
we need to make sure, and some of the one, I didn't contact the
I'll
ones
send it.
I did.
Yeah.
but Some of the ones you contacted, just make sure I'm select board.
Yeah.
Right now I've got green tacos for gospel. I don't have another one for that one yet. And then party on the patio, green tacos for wingmen, and dogs and street tacos for Todd Henry.
Nice, okay.
So.
And you do have party on the patio and gringos for wingman, you said?
Yeah.
Good job, thanks.
So probably you could ask Ed Spish for, oh, he's busy. June 5th.
So you need one more for June 5th.
Yeah, we want one more for June. Yeah.
What's the other, you could ask that.
What about Roman kitchen? They're local.
Really?
Okay. Ask, call them and just, or I can reach out to them and ask them, because that's why you should contact. for that, yeah. So you want me to ask them?
It's fine.
Oh, that's what I took a picture of, because I never heard of Tom's Coffee.
Yeah, I think he's,
They're busy because it's actually the 4th.
Well, I just never.
Yeah.
seen him.
They were up here last
Yeah, well,
I saw a post on Facebook. Ligonier put a post out asking for food trucks for July 4th.
See, thank God we were quick on the draw there.
Well, hopefully, the ones that we've contacted already are still good.
What do you mean?
Like
Well, if they don't
Mama
get it now, like
Zoni's,
street
and-
tacos,
yeah.
obviously there's communication. I think we asked her,
Well, she knows that every year
it's 4th.
she failed to put it down.
well, I think her, I guess her daughter does the scheduling.
So
so we need to find one more. huh?
I'll check with
So I've
Roman
got-
Kitchen.
Or two more, I mean, if we can find another tacos for the 4th.
So tacos and more, we can ask them first. If I can't get them, then you want to go with Lupitas or Gringos?
Gringos,
Gringos is not available.
Okay.
Okay, so, all right.
I asked them.
tacos and more, you can get a hold of that, yeah.
And so you're right, there's nothing showing up on social media
You
about
think since he
tacos and
bought,
more.
since he bought that place, he.
That's what I think. I think it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Ryan's tacos?
Mm-mm.
I was pretty sure.
Ringo's is who I dealt with. He's from Kendallville.
Was
Yeah.
that mom something?
This is the taco truck. It was orange.
Yes,
He bought that one off of that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's tacos and more, isn't
He
it?
bought.
Tacos and more.
That bomb one.
Yeah.
I think the bomb was,
The bomb was the one who actually was the
married.
ex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mary was
Who stole the recipe.
Yes.
And
Now Kelly has.
Public knowledge.
Public knowledge, everybody knows.
Oh
about
my
it.
God.
Well, now it's Kelly's got the rest.
We only got two people watching, me included. We're good.
But they're still recorded.
I don't know, maybe Cindy O'Brien.
Hasten.
So like the last thing I can find from them was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I don't. Last year they were still doing it because they
Yeah.
asked me. The Peters,
Yeah.
They're here all the time.
they are.
Is that the gray one or the white?
The white one.
Okay.
The white ones usually.
And at Hillers, they've been at
Yeah,
Hillers
this is-
quite a bit.
Well, I actually stopped there. because I wanted to have a taco.
Did you
They're
get-
pretty good. I got the Maria.
I worked in Syracuse, I'd always drive and they would have.
So I would go with Lupitas if we can't get
Yeah, like
tacos
they're
and more.
coming in like that.
That
Oh,
was
look
them.
in here?
Yep,
Yeah.
that was them.
Yeah.
I'll have to get a hold of Doc and find out what their contact is.
Well, the only reason I'm asking about tacos and more too is now, especially since he died. And I'm just saying, I don't know if that shifted a lot, because he was the one pushing the ice cream, right? Wasn't he
Yeah.
the one doing the ice cream?
Right.
Hand you.
That's Kelly.
Oh, it is Kelly?
Yeah.
They're two
Yeah.
different. Kelly's out here, Handshoes out here.
But
But
they're-
But Kelly, yeah, they're brothers.
Oh, I mean, I have no idea.
Yeah, but Kelly's the one
Doing the ice cream? Oh, I thought it was Larry.
No, it's Kelly.
Oh, okay.
But I think maybe since
He's
the,
doing ice cream, they're not doing.
because he has food there.
I know. Well, and I'm thinking July 4th, they're gonna be crazy busy there.
Yeah, that's probably what he's.
So I'm guessing that Lupitas would probably be the better option. Just assuming, but we can ask. Okay, I will check on Roman Kitchen for the 5th, because I know they're local. Or we can ask Party on the Patio. if you want.
Yeah, I don't, I was gonna go back to Tyrone's dog.
Yeah, let me just see, because we'll see, because I like to shake it. All right. Good job, John. Thank you. Let's go back and verify for July 4th. Like, I'll reach out to Brew House.
I can
Roman
reach
Kitchen.
back out to
Yeah,
Tom.
whoever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just verify that we're, just whoever you've reached out to for this, let's make sure everyone's locked in.
It's Mama Zoni's.
That's what we have to check.
She actually, I think she's still in, yeah, emailed me. January, February, so I have her. email.
Okay, so check with her then.
Cause I think she said she got.
Okay. Okay, that's what was hold up last year. Yeah.
And I told her, I said, hey, I'll get back to you.
And we gotta check with Carrie's Cakes, because that's one. That we need to see what the contact maybe is. I'll get,
Oh,
okay. Who's your mama? We didn't do, did we? No. Brew House, Room, Kitchen, Cake, Green. Oh, I see me rolling, you're doing Busco Beans. Did you do Party on the Patio?
I did.
Okay, so you'll do Party on the Patio, Mama Zoni's. I'll do Roman Kitchen Brew House. Are you gonna do Carrie's Cake with me or not?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. All right,
See me rolling.
that's me, that's ice cream.
So, okay, wonderful.
Mhm.
Yeah, if Legionnaires doing that, we're probably not gonna get Lapitas. But she'll probably stay in Legionnaire.
Maybe you're the first to ask.
Ringo's we can ask, if nothing else, if
Yeah, Ringo.
Ringo's is, oh yeah, you said.
He can't. Oh,
I just think, yeah, just. If
I
it
don't
was
know
like
any
that.
other.
Where are they going? Did they say? Well, are we against Kendallville?
Could be.
probably.
You're probably against a lot.
Oh, yeah, whoever.
Yeah, because everybody's probably gonna do it on Saturday.
Ligonier does not have fireworks, so I'm not sure. I don't think their fireworks are on the 4th.
It's for 250 celebration.
Then maybe they are having their fireworks.
Yeah.
So there'll be three, I think, in the county that'll have fireworks on July 4th, then Kendallville, Ligonier, and us. There'll be three.
Don't Avila do it too, fireworks?
They're doing theirs, for the Freedom Festival.
Oh, yeah, they always.
They're gonna open with those, so they'll be the first one that has fireworks in Noble County. And then I think, Albion changed theirs to Chain of Lakes when they do their
Yeah.
festival.
Reservation at Kelly Park.
Yeah, there is a reservation.
Or you also have been.
At Grant Park.
Oh.
Well, we're doing the
Thank you.
pickleball tournament.
I was like, wait a second.
No, I made sure. But, yeah, June 6th pickleball, and there is a reservation. And I think he said noon after the pickleball. So yes, and
It's that busy day for.
baseball is at Grant Park that day.
It's a busy day.
But yeah,
Okay. That on the food trucks. All American events were added to the Noble website, need to work on grant applications. Chautauqua 250 celebration, request to use park for stones, trees. You asked us last time, didn't you?
Yeah.
yeah.
we did.
I did,
But I don't think-
and we never heard back from them as to where they want to go.
That's just on there.
So this is,
Okay.
the norm.
Okay. Kelly Park pickleball tournament, June 6th. We're good. We should be good to go on that. And Daryl said he would if we don't, so we should be good with that.
You
So
want the restrooms open over by the baseball for that? Give you a little extra?
for what?
No.
No.
Our tournament? No, they never get that
Yeah,
too
they-
far away from where the event is.
Hey. Oh, yeah.
What about prices? Are you gonna do something with that? And then are we doing a banner?
I say this every year.
The banner is a waste of money. I
It
get
is.
but
It's a waste of money to me. I'd rather it be paper.
They like, well, we tried to do that and it didn't, they were down.
I'm just
So-
saying, it's just such a waste because we only get to use it unless one time and you're paying all. the
Unless
money
you
for
put
one time.
pickleball this weekend.
Just make it a general.
Hang it up a week
Well,
before.
do it on one side for one pickleball tournament. We'll turn over and do it the other side for the next one.
Yeah, I don't know, it's just.
Well, you could put first weekend of June on the sign.
Although we have another football tournament.
In August.
I say to find one of the lighting signs where you can move it around.
Hello, portable. We just
Let's
need a
do
portable
first
sign.
weekend of June.
Flash right there in the corner. Pickleball today.
No, on Saturday. there's no- They do start.
So we'll,
I won't.
I mean, we can get them from Brian.
It could be earlier.
Well, I mean, we could try that other thing again. You could try it again
Started.
earlier, and then if it doesn't work,
See, that only
What
plays-
was it that we got?
I thought you went to the
They get 12 games.
Oh.
Oh, you went to the library.
the library.
Yeah.
Well, then I ended up getting them from,
Brian.
nope,
Each other
nope,
Twice
I got them from Leatherman's.
in one day. Same team.
Leatherman's and Albion have a thing now. I can try the library again. Was that on vinyl though? I don't remember.
No, it was something different.
Oh,
We didn't think it would last super long, but
We can have a big picture.
it would probably last enough for the event we were having.
Yeah, okay. I will check into it.
Do we want to get a sign?
Yeah, we need to do that.
We had listed all the concerts.
Uh-huh.
We put it down. Pipeline drive there.
Yeah.
That's not gonna go up until May, right?
May's coming
No, I
quickly,
know
so
that, so yeah. So banner for.
so the hibachi truck was the one that couldn't come, right?
Yes.
'Cause I just found that on here again.
Summer conference
Cheeky
series.
chick, right? Is that the name of it?
Something like that, yeah.
So I just need to come up and see the concert series one and take it back down Friday. See if we can use it. Doubt we can, but we'll see.
Well, I thought we already read it once or twice.
No, last year we got two new ones. Remember we were gonna do a front and a back and he messed up and so he gave us two for the price of one. And we had two separate ones. We just bought that last year, so we might be able to use that again, is what I'm saying. But we're out here. So I'll double check what we've done. And I'll come get those. And we just put the full concert. So, yeah. Okay. Bullard for walkway, did they put it in yet?
It is in.
It is in?
It is in. Been in about a week.
Huh.
So,
They didn't tell me. They're usually very good about coming in and tell me what they've gotten done.
Might not been. It was last week when they.
And it's up.
Yeah, it's up. Padlock and everything.
Good.
Did they give you a key?
No, I got enough to get around it with that tractor.
For
Unless I-
concessions?
No, I didn't get a
Are
key.
you
I
doing
can ask.
concessions
Dave.
or is?
Listen.
Yeah, I can get you.
You get
I
me.
gotta get you.
I will be there all most. of
I
the
gotta
time.
get you the other thing
So,
too.
Dustin's got a
Look at a little
bed.
cot.
I still just have a cot in the back.
Concession stand.
Takes delivery.
Yeah. I will probably be there most of the time, so.
You guys are gonna have date night at the park.
She did bring me some pizza. They had a game there yesterday. And then I got done and I got Dragons Fields. Everybody be complaining that in practice field.
Did you get your popcorn machine?
We just ordered it today. Now, is that something we're paying for? Or is that something the baseball league's paying for?
We talked about this before.
I don't remember what the answer was.
I thought the answer was inside, so. I don't know. What?
Except we're responsible for.
Also, cause I've got this group of people coming out, kind of doing the work for us. Paintbrush, do we pay? I don't know.
If they're gonna do work for the park,
That it's for the, well, they're gonna paint the benches and stuff.
then I would say we provide that, right? Or no?
Yeah, I don't care. Why don't you just get what you need up at Kelly's and tell him you're with the park board
Okay,
and you can charge it.
I'll do that. That'll work.
And then you'll have everything you need. And if you forget something, you can go get it that day.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if I have the guys get it and then you know,
The hot dog and the popcorn makers before bought those?
I cannot for the life of me remember because it was so long ago.
I'm assuming because it stays here.
Well,
Would be
my
apples
thought
to
was
apples.
if we let other people use the concession stand other than the baseball, then they should be our machines, correct? The park board's machines.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we can't hardly tell other entities they can come in there and use it if they're the
But here,
baseballs.
but here's the thing is if we do that, then that to me is an additional charge. If you're gonna let other entities, because you
Well,
have to cover the
it's
maintenance.
normally the only other ones that use it is the fire department, and they're doing it for a fundraiser for the,
You
Shelter
Dave,
animals.
I think they did.
it's after you guys are done.
think they did it August.
It's on the.
Good Friday.
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 So will be the 7th.
So I mean, it doesn't matter. We ordered it through the town's account, so I just need to know who pays for what. So we ordered two
I'm just saying
hot
for
dog
future.
machines and a popcorn machine because, I mean, it's been years since anything's been.
No, I don't have a problem with that. And if it's something like it's our town, like the fire department, but I'm just saying if something else, somebody else came in,
Yeah, like a church group.
then it's an additional charge.
Right.
Because
It's somebody
we
that
have to
isn't, I would say somebody that isn't like local nonprofit. Or even, probably even a local church, depending on what they're using it for. We might charge them like a, I don't know, electrical,
fee or something.
electrical charge or something, but. Okay, so. Park board.
Town guys to fix concrete sidewalk at tennis courts.
Yeah, I don't know if you've been out by there, but when the machine went on there to. Lay the asphalt, it's either the milling machine or the asphalt machine, I don't know which one. It busted up a good portion of the concrete on the sidewalk. So I talked to the guys about it today and I said, wherever it makes sense to cut that, to replace it, if you need to replace like from the end to that part, go ahead and do it. Instead of like making a cutout of just that area it's John. To replace it, so it's on their radar, but we want to try to get it so it's all done and ready for the June thing.
Okay, fencing installed, yep. Painting and porch. Okay. Grant, those are just things. And there's nothing really been, I'm not saying it wrong, but I think Amy's probably busy because there hasn't been a statue or anything taken out there.
On the dog park.
Well, and really the weather has just
Yes.
gotten cleaned up.
You mentioned that the last time.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay,
Oh, the cleaner upper.
yeah,
Yeah, so your mower guy,
Dave,
keep in touch with him and see what he's saying about it.
okay.
I picked it.
Oh, yeah, so.
Was there very much out there?
Not at that time. By the game.
Of course.
So if it gets bad and there's bags,
Yeah, they're bagged right there.
Okay.
They weren't-
so if it gets bad, then yeah, or I can make a copy of it.
No, I made that guy give me like 5 of them.
I can snap it. Let me snap it.
Like, I'm almost.
Because I think it would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's
Like,
really,
those other signs in
I
Kendallville.
have a friend that actually, he used.
I don't really think it's the mower guy's responsibility to
Isn't.
clean up the waste. I
No,
know he does it just because he's the one that on his machine, but
It is the
it would
worst.
be a good idea to know. And you will know that what day what day he mows so that we could get somebody there the day before or that same, depending on when he mows, So
Well,
it's
this morning,
cleaned up.
Grant, he was out there at 9 o'clock because he was waiting for and as it dries up, as we stop having the dews and the frost, then he'll be out there earlier because he's
yeah,
usually
he
out there
told
about
me he wanted to
7:30.
Get it all done by.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, and I don't think there's anything else. I will say I haven't seen any more cars pulling out, so putting that whatever. And I don't know if Paul ended up going out there because I called him that night when the people were out there. They had driven the car back out.
Was it a car?
It's a car. It's
They
a-
drove it.
How are they doing it?
I don't know.
Are they still doing it?
No, this was like when I tried to get a hold of this over spring break.
Okay.
Over the spring break. So since that's happened, spring break, there had so.
And I'm out there
Yeah.
quite a
Yeah.
bit, so that I think that kind of keeps
Yeah,
things
keep it
down.
cool.
Yeah,
But it's the same vehicle.
because everybody.
It's like a,
Spot.
not an SUV, but it's like a, I guess it's a SUV.
It's an SUV, not a car.
It. What are the? It's a half.
So like Subaru?
Are they older or?
No,
No.
not old.
Now
And I called, but I did get a hold of Paul that night
city worker, you know what I mean? Guys.
I haven't seen it out there since spring break they were out there. And they had done it twice, and so that's when I called Paul, and Paul was supposedly going out there because he was still on duty.
And they put the part,
And they did put a parking thing back over there, so I don't know, we'll see.
So had the parking thing been moved?
yeah, it wasn't there. I hadn't been there for a long time.
Well, who moved it?
But he went, I seen him go down there with Bobcat, he put a couple in.
I mean, are they moving it over or are they just stealing it altogether?
No, I don't think it was even there.
No, it was there because we
Well,
put
I
it in
know.
last fall.
I don't think I don't remember it being there though.
It was there in the fall because it had stopped it, yeah, but then it got moved again, I don't know how it
But I
got
don't
moved.
know how it would have ever got moved and I don't know why it would have got moved. I mean, it wouldn't have been, we didn't have anybody down there
No. And I didn't even mess with it.
and they're not light.
No,
No, they're not. No.
so I don't know, but I know ever since that, I haven't seen them again, but it's the same vehicle that we've had. It's like a dark, whatever, kind of like a, what is a Buick Enclaves that are like a, like an SUV-ish kind of thing. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's that size and it's dark.
Yeah. Well, right now they ain't gonna.
Two big dogs, I know that.
Too many.
Okay, so I think we're good there, nothing. Oh, when are they, just when they're not busy, when they do the, I'm looking at fence order and received.
They, they're hoping next week maybe. If they're gonna do the restrooms this week, probably next week-ish.
Post around parking lot being installed today. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Then what's that? Just did,
All those telephone poles were rotted.
oh, okay.
And didn't I tell you about the historic sign being knocked down and obliterated? I thought I did at the last meeting.
Huh?
So I think it was the construction crew on the bridge and it was a trailer that backed into it because it was a concrete post and it had 4 things of re-rot in it. So imagine how
Yeah.
it had to be that. Because there's nothing, not a normal vehicle could have knocked that over and drove away from it.
Well, isn't that sign like
Behind the post.
behind the post, like not in the parking lot?
Yes. So they took out the post because the wooden post was rotted. And then they went into the concrete post sign for the historic marker.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So now the sign's gone.
The sign part, we have the top. So now we're trying to find another concrete base to put it on or, cause it's a bigger, the hole for it's a bigger hole. So we can't use just regular fence posts. So they're working, trying to source that. Might end up having to go through the state, see if I can locate it. But I mean, they had to know they had it. There's no way they didn't know.
Exactly.
And I would think it would have done damage to their trailer, but you can, and it just like, cause the outside of it had a metal coat, like a coating on it, not a coating, but around it, it was wrapped and it just right up that metal. So I'm like, so yeah, they're working on posts.
Then the porta john, you're gonna.
Yeah, I sent an email today because I usually have them place it the 1st of April and
But is that us or conservatives?
it's Conservancy, but I'm just letting you know. And somehow it didn't happen this year, so they're bringing it. Either-
We need to look at the benches that are along 9.
I saw those.
Sir,
The freeze and thaw. It's the
That's
freeze and
great.
thaw. Just nuked them.
we may
I gotta remember to. I saw them. Tell them.
look if they can.
I think they have to be moved back
Yeah.
because what's happening is that it's eroding on the edge of that lake. And now if you go to try to walk in front, you can't hardly walk in front. And then there's a bigger drop off there. So I don't know if we should move them back or we should just pull them out and put them somewhere else. Where it doesn't get so much wind and it's eroding.
Yeah.
But I think,
Yeah, we just- then you get too close to home.
Yeah.
well, there's quite a distance still there, but I'd have to keep it out of the
But the
road.
reason they like it is it is sitting so close and they can just cast into the lake.
Well, they can't sit on those.
I know.
And now it's bleeds forward and sideways, so they're like,
You actually, you really see them now, because you gotta sit there.
uh-huh.
And you're like, I had to look at them. Oh, okay. I thought maybe somebody ran into it.
That's what I
But
thought
it's
too.
all Concrete.
It's just, this winter was really bad. I mean, Lions Drive took a beating this winter from the freeze and thaw.
Okay. Nothing more at Sycamore? Gap Park.
I miss Lakeside.
Oh, sorry. I'm
Not
sorry.
that there's much to
No,
talk
no,
about
I'm
there.
sorry. Is the mulch gonna be put around? Is it already?
We have it, they just gotta get it going.
We already have the playground done, right? Installation, yeah. So that was fall. So we're just waiting on the mulch, right?
The mulch around.
To go around the other
Other pieces of equipment.
pieces of
The
equipment.
new equipment has the mulch.
They already have the mulch.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's just.
Around the
waves,
other,
marigold.
okay.
So,
Is there, do you guys ever see,
John's out there all the time when he walks his dog 7-8 times a day. He's as bad
you
as
know,
Dusty.
Twice a day. Early in the morning, we walk down there. And in the evening.
And in the afternoon sometimes.
People still use pickleball court there?
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. But mostly, I saw some kids out there this weekend. Yeah, I think it worked out.
you're attempting it again?
Mhm.
Did you hurt yourself?
No, I'm still
Keep playing with people.
correct.
The
neighbors.
Thought about it, I just gotta pencil it in.
When's that gonna happen? Maybe you could go be in the tournament.
Yeah, maybe. Well, the problem is I have a tournament. Where are we gonna be at?
We can do the August Chautauqua.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you.
No, he's doing the,
Cornhole.
he's doing cornhole.
Cornhole.
Yeah, and
we're
do
doing-
not overbook
No,
yourself.
I'm good there. I don't have nothing now. But June's there.
Vacation.
Random vacation.
It might end up, it may be, but school will have started already, so no.
Okay. Lighting for stage and pavilion, are the guys installing those?
That's the thing.
They're just portable?
Go on CR.
Oh, okay.
Cause we're not hanging.
Yeah, when was it the Luck of Irish
They're not.
tournament?
They have to hang the thing that, the screen,
Yeah. the
but we
screen-
don't need that done until June 6th.
Well,
Six, sorry, it's six.
No,
No, June 5th. June 6th is the pickleball. I said the date wrong. Hang, what did I say, screen
Screen
for
for-
June 5th.
the-
Okay.
concrete installed. Art
that looks
paved
good.
path around musical bells, installed drum and bench to be
I guess so.
with a roof over. Did they?
Looks good.
I was gonna tell Roberta, I think they have music already. She posted something about, can somebody with musical help? They already have color coded music out there for those things.
For the center bells, or is she talking the ones that go around? I
I
didn't
think
get
the
what,
color coded bells.
Oh, that's in 16.
I have
Color
no
coded
clue.
bells that they just.
16. or something.
She said something about,
Do I
was
have
there
Kelly?
anybody
Yeah.
that-
Well, then what she needs to do is do a QR code down there.
Yeah.
Because putting that, sheet that they walk around with just blows away.
Exactly what it
She
is.
just needs to.
So it needs to be a sticker with a QR code
you can always move.
on the colored bells with the different things they can
Songs that they
do.
can
I only-
And then
Kelly.
for the other bells,
So,
I'll have to suggest that.
Times too is just discovery. I'm just gonna tell you, be discovery. For most kids, it's just discovery.
With the adults, though, that's already a pretty.
That's already in it. Yeah, you just hit it.
Yes, but had it with a sheet of paper. Well, the sheet of paper
Oh, I
blows
don't
away.
have,
So it needs to be a
that Kelly-
QR code that they
that's
scan.
grand.
They can just go by it from the phone.
Kelly schedule.
Oh, is it? Yeah, you're right. I see it.
So that's by Karen Edwards on. 16.
Okay. And you already did the clans concert, you got the food trucks? You're just
And
gonna-
the gazebo's ordered, but it was supposed to be here 2 weeks ago.
That's your
I
8.
think it was supposed
So
to be here
gazebo is going where? I saw you sent something, but where is it
on
going?
the pad that's kind of catty corner to the kiosk.
And also
It's gonna be moved more
May
towards the
16th.
May 16th.
tree, but then
Right.
when we made it just a little bit bigger, went from the 10x10 to the 12x10, it was gonna be too close to the tree and the tree wouldn't have enough space to grow. So she shifted it and it's more in front of the kiosk.
'Cause I
now,
haven't
which
actually.
It don't really matter. You can't read the kiosk from
Yeah.
like the road anyway. It's not our road.
And that over.
Okay,
So what we'll do is we'll listen to Grant.
Okay. you
And
guys
then-
want Mr. Grant then?
Yeah. You got anything on June?
they're moving
20th?
they're moving the bench.
Mhm.
Yeah, so Gary Furlow's bench is gonna be one of them that's gonna go
Mine.
underneath there and then we'll have another one we'll pull out there.
Okay.
Well, if you wanna do that one, Kelly, I mean, there's nothing here, I can put it on. the calendar. That way it's not on, that's.
The thing that I was gonna add on here that I got interrupted and forgot to put on here, but now I remember, was we need to do something for Bridget. So is that something you wanna try to do in conjunction with the,
June 5th concert.
yeah, that or some other event we got going on?
It's the first one. that happens.
Cause we did, although I don't know if we wanna do it for that. Cause we normally do the at Kelly and then we put the name up on the pavilion. And we did like cake or cupcakes, didn't we, in the past? But we could do it maybe after the, why can't I talk, the pickleball tournament. If you kinda knew when that was gonna end, but I don't know if she'd wanna do that on a weekend. Probably
She
better,
might do it on
you know,
Friday.
you know
might
what
do it
I'm
on the Friday
thinking,
night concert, the gospel series, though, because she likes that.
but what about,
And we got
like,
cake.
right after a park board meeting, and we have the park board meeting at Kelly Park. So like July or August meeting.
I think that's fine. I just remember the last one. Nobody really comes.
No, I know.
That's why I was just like, why don't you do it around something that we're doing?
I mean, we can do that, but you're gonna have to check with her and see if she's gonna be around. If you wanna do it on the 6th or the 5th. Damn, why do I keep doing that? On the 5th.
Or whenever we can, but I just, to me, it's like, I would rather do it where she gets whoever it is gets recognition.
And then, so do we wanna do a sign and a plaque or just, what do you, how do you do
Give her a plaque.
it? I agree. I don't,
I-
I'd rather do like a sign and then give her like a $25 gift card to go to dinner or something. By
I
the
would-
time you spend the money on the plaque,
Plaques will be. Put her name out on there. On the thing, if it's
Yeah.
on the front of Kelly Pavilion. Like we usually do.
We're gonna have that.
Um,
Put this up. on the Keller Park.
Yeah, I would rather do something like that. Personally.
okay.
If there's a crowd there, then somebody.
Well, we could do a paper like certificate
Yeah.
in a frame that night.
Just to hand
So she has
something.
handed or something.
Yeah, that's fine. You're gonna check that. Okay. All right. Yes, we do need to. And let us know how many years. How many years was she on? We'll need to know that. Nina, it's like 25 now.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, nobody beats Barb Tapman.
How long was she on?
She's been on the, not park board, but the plan commission since like the 70s or the 80s.
Okay, well, listen,
She's still on. She's got like 45, 50 years.
I'm pretty sure I've been over
The whole
15.
pavilion.
Oh, I can vouch for that.
Yeah.
I know I've been over 15. I got.
I don't disagree. And I'm gonna tell you that the numbers on here probably aren't correct, but we haven't spent that much money that I thought it was. I was really pushing, trying to get this done.
Right, that's the, there's a.
All right, hold on. Okay, hold on, because we're trying to finish this out in this one. Okay. Okay. Anything else that we need to? Okay. For Dustin, you're not even make it to your 7:30 practice.
They have a little more.
Okay.
He could have left
I could.
because we were past making a decision.
Kind of nice.
He gets the sack, he said.
His wife said it's a control thing.
It is.
All right, the only thing I was gonna bring up that I just wanna say from our perspective on the food trucks for the July 4th. So here's my question. Last year, and I think it's gonna be even more of an issue this year because of this current situation. This is just a side note. This isn't necessarily park board, but kind of park board. The parking lot next to the liquor store. We talked about this last year, so I don't know if I need to come to a meeting at the town hall or town board. But those businesses are kind of struggling under the situation, not necessarily the liquor store.
I mean, what you could do is go in and ask the liquor store.
I don't want to, because of this situation that's down on the point now, it's taken parking away. So people are going to try to park everywhere. And I don't feel like a business that's trying to work that day should be compromised with people parking. That's not customers. So last year I tried to stop that. We put barricades up, but I had no backup. So I don't know what to
I think
do.
it's probably something.
Okay. I feel bad for the business.
I mean, as far as people parking in there to go to the food trucks, I don't think that's an issue because they're only there
But
for a
we
few
could
minutes.
designate.
Right.
We could put some little signs up that say food truck temporary, 10-minute limit or whatever, food truck parking. And put a limit on it. But then we also have to have people that are helping monitor. I mean, I don't have a problem doing that, but it's just like,
We can just say parking. There's someone, they can park on the street. Because like we're random now, so many food trucks.
Well, the problem is what's gonna happen is those spaces for people that are gonna come up and not stay for the fireworks are gonna get used up. So you do need to have a couple spaces designated somewhere for maybe a couple places and two different places for people that wanna come up and get food and leave. Because they're gonna start coming in and parking at what, 5, 6 o'clock? And those spaces are gonna get.
but I had been
Phil,
trying to
and-
monitor that last year. But then I just, because I feel for the business.
Couldn't you talk? Cause yeah. If. Well, designate that whole area. Like that, right there for food trucks and for the rest. I don't know, if you do two spots for each, I don't know.
Something, we
like
have to
that.
do something. But
Because even if you-
people, because you're taking away all that parking down, I'm telling you, it was a nightmare last year. And now with the current situation we have, it's
Well,
gonna be
they
a
can come
nightmare.
on down. I know a guy that's doing Pollard Market. I mean, just short walk to food trucks.
Is that you? Whatever, I don't care.
Yeah, no, I just, so I will come to. I mean, just for them, I don't want, if they're not, if they don't want it monitored, then okay.
Well, pepperonis was closed last year, correct?
Yeah,
Right, but so then the question mark becomes, I mean, even so, like if you look technically and someone said, for example, Miller's. Tons of people were parking at Miller's, so then how can their customers, if somebody's literally coming, there is no.
Well, I
What
think
do you
they,
do?
well, the businesses are gonna have to put signage themselves up that says for customer parking only.
Yeah, that's the only way.
It will be enforced.
Yeah.
And then if they don't care after a certain time, like after they close, then they could put up, you can park here after we close.
That's what they gotta do. Like, we went and rented a car there in Fort Wayne, and there's like 4 shops in this little mall, and then right across the street. But every so often, each spot had a sign, like you park for that place. That's how, yeah, that's what it is.
No, they're gonna have
And
to
they
because,
do
because
enforce it.
last year, even Miller's was parked completely full. Like the library I get because it's closed, so it doesn't matter. But Miller's, there's like no space to go for your customer. And I don't, again, you feel for them, you know, so it's like.
Programs full and all that.
But, really, Cody should put on the sign, customer parking only
Yeah.
during hours. And then after that,
Cause they close at 8.
right,
It might be 9 by then.
might be 9, but still,
You have people coming in your parking.
at 4 o'clock,
Five.
4 or 5 o'clock. Yep.
They got a circle.
Verifying times, we went from 6 to 10, right? Food trucks. Not 5, or did we do 5:30?
no, I think we did. Well, when do people
I'll
come?
verify.
I've never, I never came up here because
No, we switched the
20
time this
people.
year.
my house every year.
We switched the time.
At least, well, food trucks will probably want to show up.
No, I know that, but what are we serving? Because we used to do 5 to 10. Then the 5 o'clock hour was, so last year we switched it, but then people were still trying to show up because we had missed commute.
This says 5:30 to 9:30.
5:39.
Trucks will be served from 5:30 to 9:30. Tina will be there at 5 for setup.
So you want them there by
Or-
5.
Or if they need to come earlier, I just need to know so I can meet them.
And I can be.
Like Street Talks used to come early, now that they're not coming, I don't know. But they used to like, is the serving time. And then what you can tell them is
So.
at 9:30, we won't release until 9:30. I haven't been opening because it's too hard.
They're all gonna go up that way.
Right, but I'm just saying, when you place them though, you got people in there, customers, that's like party on the patio. I always make sure he understands he cannot leave until 9:30.
That or you
Some
put him
people-
as the last.
Even when he's the last, it doesn't matter, because you got so many people trying to maneuver him.
Yeah,
Keep getting it.
After fireworks?
What?
Does some people stay open till after fireworks?
That's their choice. We only advertise till 9:30, but it like Street Tacos used to stay open. They can stay open and we tell them that the day, you can stay open as long as you want.
I mean, if
But
I
we're
was
only
sitting
gonna
there,
ask.
I definitely would until the traffic went.
Right.
I would.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I'm saying in your things, there
I would.
are only required is 5:30, 9:30. If they want to stay open through fireworks, they're welcome.
Okay.
So you can tell them that. Because there will be people come up during fireworks.
And she'll need to know if they're coming earlier than 5.
Yeah,
Okay.
if they need it earlier than 5. I'll meet whenever. I just need to know. Okay.
Yeah, and I can do it. We might go somewhere, but we don't. We'll be
Okay.
back.
All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Any other thing that we need to bring up? Okay. I'm gonna have a motion to close the meeting.
Motion to close meeting.
Second.
Okay. All right.